And I said, Sanjay, I want to narrate something to you because I just want you to give me your name. Okay, Sanjay. And he said, Goops, it's damn good, yeah.
कोई fascination, कुछ I don't know what is it towards Sanjay Dutt and even John Abraham to an extent.
And then this door opens and out walks this giant. White Pathani, shawl. Hello, Sanjay, I'm Amitabh Bachchan. No problem, you just be comfortable, narrate how you want to. Kahani khatam ho gayi, and that is the most terrifying 20-25 seconds of my life. So, sir, what do you think? Oh, it's fantastic. I love it. I like it.
एक बात पूछूं, आपने एनिमल देखी है अभी?
हाँ,
कैसी लगी?
I loved it.
You like the movie, right? I had a feeling you like it.
In the 80s, early 80s came Sunny Deol, Sanjay Dutt, Jackie Shroff, Anil Kapoor. If today Sanjay Dutt walks in, John Abraham walks in, you see, everybody takes note. Arey koi aaya. There's a presence in the room.
100%.
Only two filmmakers who've never given a shit about reviews are the most successful directors. David Dhawan and Rohit Shetty.
दिल्ली का लौंडा दुबई में मच मच मचा रहा है धूम, दिल से पूछ रहा है सवाल, सबसे झूम बराबर झूम। ये मस्ती का खुलेगा यहाँ पिटारा, जो भी आएगा यहाँ सितारा, जश्न का बजेगा यहाँ नगाड़ा, टाइम आउट विद अंकित। टिप टिप टैप टप 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 टप, कॉफी का कप और गपशप लाइट चली, एक्शन हुआ फिर मस्ती मस्ती का उड़ा धुआं, कोई केंचो कोई वनक्कम कोई मरहबा बल्ले, अरे आई सेट पर जब हबीबी दिल विल सभी के जल्ले। मस्ती का खुलेगा यहाँ पिटारा, जो भी आएगा यहाँ सितारा, जश्न का बजेगा यहाँ नगाड़ा, टाइम आउट विद अंकित। दिल्ली का लौंडा दुबई में मच मच मचा रहा है धूम, दिल से पूछ रहा है सवाल, सबसे झूम बराबर झूम। ये
चले शो भी शूट करना है यार। ज़्यादा बात लग रहा है फाइट में देख।
नहीं, ये अभी perfect.
It sound okay? होते सर होते पर ऐसे आपको देख के वो तो वैसे you see wrong shots अंदर से कि जो ही लोग क्या रहे हैं। देखो वो तो I'm sure आपको भी कैसे पीक यार एक कभी लगता है आपको I mean all the day when you see another movie कभी लगता है यार ये क्या शॉट ये
That is the one regret. Okay, not with me. Because you cannot anticipate that you cannot see anything but say, okay, today I'm just going to watch as a viewer and I'm not going to look into anything. Yeah, and like day before yesterday, we went for the screening of one of the films that it's released this week. So one of them we went for, and I was watching it after half an hour, 45 minutes. I told my wife, I said, I'm just going to go out and see कि if everything is clear, तो हम लोग निकल जाते हैं. और मैं वो सोच के गया तो जो एंट्रेंस पे पहली 2 सीट्स हैं, I took those seats. Then I realized साला एंट्रेंस पे जो भी आ रहा है सबको मिलना पड़ता है उठ के. No, you have to meet. Then they all go at the back.
Correct.
So I'm constantly up, down, up, down, up, down. And after 45 minutes, I quietly sneaked out. I go out and there are like 100 people over there.
अच्छा
Because I direct a lot of people who came late, उनको अंदर नहीं जाने दिया. तो सब बाहर खड़े हैं, वेट कर रहे हैं इंटरवल का. So मैं चुपचाप वापस गया. I said, not a chance. But in the interval, I said, you want to step out for a smoke?
Yeah.
And just...
Yeah, I asked this, like
no, but why I said this was because I was getting extremely upset. I was getting angry while watching the film. Because, you see, it's not even a debate. Like I always ask people, what is worse? A bad director or a lazy director? See, a bad director is a bad director. वो बेचारा ठीक है, maybe he's not that good. I may not be brilliant, but I'm not bad. I know that. But if I'm a decent enough director and I'm lazy, that is worse because you're not giving you 100%. So that is unforgivable, and that is what was happening in the film. The director was not interested, least interested. The background music कहाँ जा रहा है, performance कहाँ जा रहे हैं, scenes कहाँ जा रहे हैं. I was like, forget it, yaar. I cannot sit through somebody else's.
Yeah, नहीं होता, right? पर एक और चीज, there's a personal question. Direction and editing. I don't know. Sometimes I get confused. Because
you can't do one without the other.
You cannot do one without the other, correct? But isn't it important कि एक director and an editor need to be? I feel it needs to be the same brain.
No, the director needs to know the editing.
Yeah, so
the director has to know where he's going to cut, how much he needs, how much he's going to throw away and everything.
But not necessarily हर दफा director editor नहीं होता, right?
नहीं. Shoot तो director करता है ना.
Correct.
So he's going to shoot keeping in mind where it's going to cut, how much he needs, what are the shots he needs. Director the editor will just assemble.
तो मेरे को अच्छा एक और चीज़ बताओ, क्योंकि मैं यूजुअली टीम में एडिटर्स को हमेशा बोलता हूँ कि थिंक फ्रॉम अ डायरेक्टर्स पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू व्हेन आई एम नॉट प्रेजेंट ओवर देयर. दैट्स व्हाई आई एम आस्किंग. हाँ, तो कभी ऐसा होता है कि यू गिव और यू मस्ट बी एडिटिंग योरसेल्फ आल्सो, आई एम श्योर, बट आगे जब आप देते हो, यू गिव हिम अ परफेक्ट पिन पॉइंट?
No, they know. See, we're working with serious editors who know the job, and most of them, I work with only one editor. I mean, 2 editors in my entire career. Is that way. So they know my work. From 2000, I've been working only with Bunty Nagi. Then before that was another editor called Afaq Hussain, who was my guru and who passed away. So yeah, so I've been just, so they know that. For us now, when people tell me, no, your films, the style is, whatever. So my whole counter to that is your style is like a handwriting. Now it's either good or it's bad here. So you're not going to write slowly and better, whatever. It's just, so that's a natural flow, But what matters is what you're writing. Is that, so like my new film, which is going to release a month after next. So the first trailers just got ready. I shared it with a few friends and who were not part of the film. Their immediate feedback, "Are fucking perfect Sanjay Gupta film it's looking like." And here's a film that I've done which is unlike any of my other films.
Yeah.
Because it's with sport and, youngsters and Goa and all of that. But okay, but so I guess what they are saying is, the close-ups, the edit, the pace, the music. क्योंकि वो सब तो वही है ना जो
करेक्ट है, सिग्नेचर आ जाता है. सही बात है आपकी.
That's what happens.
एक बात पूछूं, आपने एनिमल देखी है अभी?
हाँ.
कैसी लगी?
I loved it.
You liked the movie, right? I had a feeling you'll like it.
Yeah, I loved it.
Because Animal, according to me, again, I could be wrong, या नहीं होगा, but Animal did for Hindi cinema what Game of Thrones did for TV series in the western side. But you have been at this from quite a while. But I don't know क्यों, I mean, I feel आपको credit नहीं मिला इस चीज़ का, because you were trying to present this work, say 10 years back.
No, I've done this 30 years.
30 years back, precisely.
Everybody said the same that time.
हाँ.
You must have been a baby. So when Atesh came out, it was the same response. Where people said that shit, nobody had seen the presentation, the editing, the music, the action, the guns.
Precisely.
And all of that. So that happened. Then again, it happened with me in Kaante. Kaante came out, it was the same thing. I liked Animal, I mean, as a film.
Yeah.
I mean, it has its flaws and it has everything, but overall, because I believe a film has to entertain.
Yeah.
That's it. Whether it's comedy, drama, action, thriller, it has to entertain. And Animal entertained, yeah.
100%. 100%. So, आपको कोई ऐसा,
but I wouldn't go as far as to call it the Game of Thrones of India.
No, but I'm saying it broke that barrier. कि
एक barriers it broke, yeah. It just did good box office business. That's it.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel.
I don't think there's anything groundbreaking as such that I'd never seen before, or all that.
By groundbreaking, what I was trying to say was because जैसे Game of Thrones में बात है, याद है आपको एक it had everything. They were showing the blood, they were showing the curse words, proper the curse words. So what time से हो रहे थे? But it had that real cinema aspect to it. कि दिखा रहे थे whatever they was wanted to present, they were presenting. I think इसके साथ कैसे आपने इससे पहले हमने कहाँ देखा commercial picture में एक actor गाली दे रहा है या it's a negative role played by a lead actor, you know, who's not played a negative role ever actually, if you see before this.
I don't want to, counter this thing, but a
You
lot
know
of what
better,
you see
obviously.
a lot of what you see in, for example, that famous fight of his in the corridor with an axe.
Yeah.
I saw that in 2004 with Sanjay Dutt.
I was going to say.
The bloodshed, the gali galos, we've done it all, yeah.
Yeah.
When you look at a shootout at Okanwala, shootout at Dodala, this, that. That's why I'm saying that for me, there was just the overall package I enjoyed. And I enjoyed it also because of just two people. One was the director and one was Ranbir. The sync between the two was tremendous. That's what I really enjoyed. The rest was, it's okay. It is just his reimagining. Vanga, when he's out of the box, when he conceives his scenes or whatever, he doesn't care about what people will care. So that is a good thing. That's what I liked over it.
Okay. And I'm thought very few directors I feel I get nervous around. You probably are one of them. I don't know why. Books or movies, where do you think one can get better knowledge or directional knowledge?
No, you have to get both. You have to get both. At least for me, that is a thing. I almost consume, I watch everything possible that I can. And I read a lot. The other thing is, right from my teenage years, when I knew that I wanted to become a director, and I had become an assistant director at the age of 16 and on the sets of Jalwa. So I always alternate between a book on cinema and then fiction or anything else. What I love is biographies. Now mainly whatever you'll see is mostly non-fiction. Fiction bores me now because, as it is, you're telling stories, reading stories. Depends. There are very few authors that I really look forward to. So it is that. But the balance of the two is very important. And we were just talking about editing and direction. So I'll tell you something. So my first film was Jalwa, 1986. And we were in Goa. The whole film was shot in one long 60-day schedule in the month of April and May in the heat. And 1986 means that's nearly 40 years ago. That time, Goa was not the Goa we know today. So the whole of that stretch, we were staying on Kalangut. The Kalangut, Baga, which today you can't even walk on. There was nobody. There was nothing. So we were shooting over there, and wo zamane mein monitors nahi hote. Okay, so there were no monitors, there were no...
Monitors nahi hote the matlab kya?
This is a monitor.
Yeah.
See.
Yeah.
So all this started in the late 90s.
So how did you review
that? No, that the cameraman was watching.
Acha, वैसे okay.
And the director would see the frame and set the frame. But we as assistants, especially somebody like me who was a clapper boy, there was no chance of even touching the camera. So I did not know what the camera is recording, what the camera is shooting, and what the shots are. And I was very clear that I also wanted to be an assistant editor on the same film. And that was the single best decision I have taken in my entire career. Although that was not even a career then. Because the minute I came and sat down in the editing room and they started playing the shots, the editors watching all the shots. When I saw the shots, I understood. Oh, तो वो वहाँ से वहाँ भागा था, वो उसको ऐसे वाइड में भी भगाया, फिर वो क्लोज में भागा. कैमरा में क्या चल रहा था हम लोग को मालूम
नहीं पता था.
So I understood the whole, that I juxtaposed. And I understood what was happening on the set. Okay. And then when the editor started cutting it and putting it together, then I understood that why.
Correct.
First was what, then was why.
Correct. Okay.
So, and that, if that is, your main formidable foundation,
बराबर है.
then you're home.
एक और चीज पूछूं, just out of curiosity I'm asking you, पहले के टाइम पे editing you had those reels.
Yeah, of course.
How was that? I just want to know. कैसे होता था?
See, I often joke about it, I laugh about it with my children. My daughter's 11, my son is just turned 13. So I tell them, I said, I feel sorry for y'all because y'all have missed entire growth thing. I said, when we were kids, there was black and white TV, which turned to color. Then came the first VCR. And we said, "Bhai, घर पे बैठ के picture देख सकते हैं." And the main thing was, अरे यार तेरे को पता है picture में हम गाना rewind कर सकते हैं, which was impossible in the theater. Action scene rewind करके फिर देख सकते हैं. So that was a very big thing for us. Then your phones say, then the wireless phones say mobile phones say then there were that, and today what we have, the Androids. So this growth, and then same is the growth with black and white TV, color TV, then your flat screen TVs, now your 4K TVs, and all of that. I have been a collector of books and films from my teenage years. Okay, so all my homes, my office, everywhere there's stacks of books, and in my home I have a designated professional theater. So earlier, all three walls, long walls of the theater, were lined with DVDs and Blu-rays. Okay, there's everything was there, and then now where are they? They're locked up in trunks in my godown because I don't need them.
Yeah.
That the whole physical format
Is gone.
and I also feel very sad about it. I miss buying those DVDs and special editions. I miss buying my CDs. No, it's a whole ecosystem which is gone. So likewise, even with filmmaking, when we started out, and it used to be called the Steenbeck. So it was a table sort of machine on which you put a whole roll of film. It would go through sprockets and this and that, and the display would happen on a screen in front of you.
अच्छा.
ओके और वो उसको रोक देते थे, हाँ यहाँ, फिर हाथ से मार्क करते थे शॉट को कि हाँ ये इन पॉइंट है, हाँ रुको ये आउट पॉइंट है, फिर उसको लेके दूसरे टेबल पे बैठ के वी वुड कट एंड सो इट वाज कॉल्ड अ स्प्लाइसर. So you had to cut the shots physically, put them together, put the tape, correct, move on. So it was very tedious.
Wow.
And the worst thing was it used to be called कि कटिंग ढूंढना. कटिंग ढूंढना क्या होता है कि जब आपने एक सीन में समझो 15 शॉट्स लगाए और वेरियस टेंस, वो सीन बन गया, then it is revised and revised and revised.
Okay.
In the sense the director will see it once, second time when he watches it, अरे यार वो जो that shot number 3 उसका एंड थोड़ा बढ़ा दो.
हाँ.
तो वहाँ हमारी हालत टाइट हो जाती
गए काम से.
अब खड़े रहते थे पीछे कि बोलेंगे अगर कम कर दो तो बोले चलो ठीक है तो काट देंगे.
Correct.
बढ़ा दो मतलब जाओ डब्बे निकालो, वो 2 फ्रेम ढूंढो एग्जैक्ट उसी शॉट की फ्रॉम hundreds of frames and then bring it and give it to them and then they would put it together. So it was that entire thing, and from there it changed to what was it called? Even the other day I was forgetting. Anyway, then it became changed to computers, and now finally. So my daughter, keeps making these reels and edits. She's very much into all that with music and all that. And so I look at her and I say, you can do all this on a phone.
Yeah.
For which we needed rooms and machines and.
Yeah.
So this evolution that has happened. The only thing I feel where reverse evolution has happened, because that's what I expected, was with digital cameras. Not these cameras, but the ones that we shoot for shootings. Because when I turned to digital was with my film Shootout at Wadala, which was in 2012.
12 was saying, yeah.
Was when we made it. 2013 we released it. So I was very excited to go on set that I'll be shooting with a digital camera, because somehow in my mind was कि digital camera तो छोटा होगा, उसको लेके मैं कुछ भी कर सकता हूँ. I can all of that, play with it, this and that. And just when I reached on set and I told the first day shoot, and I told the DOP, I said round trolley लगाओ, action sequence है John का और Chetan का, and I said round trolley लगा, पहले 1-2 dialogues हैं and then we'll start the action and that. And then I said put a zoom. They said okay. I went back to my van, I had my breakfast, and they said the shot is ready. I said I'm coming. I went, I saw the camera and I got the shock of my life. And I told that cameraman, I said, what the fuck is this? So he's saying, this is the ad, you wanted to zoom. It was 4 feet long. It is literally, it's this. And I shoot a lot with long lenses.
Acha.
And it's so fucking heavy. It's heavy and that. And I operate myself. The first time looking through it, अच्छा हमको दूसरी क्या आदत थी कि जैसे ही शॉट कर दूंगा कट, या जैसे जब शॉट चालू हो रहा है, बिकॉज फिल्म बचानी होती थी. यहाँ पे कुछ वो है ही नहीं, so I mean I'm saying, hey, cut. They say, no, calm down, it's okay, you continue. I said, and then it took me a while to get used to that. Okay, there's no film.
Yeah.
But the fact that, and with time, so I'm saying that was 12 years ago, and till now, it's only getting bigger and bigger. Unless you shoot on a red, which is a smaller body, but again the lenses.
At the
At the same time, there are the technology is advancing. So for that matter, there's I think it's called the Black Magic this new camera system, which is Black Magic only. Which is this FX3 cinema. So the Black Magic that the camera is for 1,80,000 in the store and 6K, and it is acceptable by Netflix and Amazon. So you can actually shoot films on that, at the same time. Yeah, and then I when I was looking it up, I realized that most of the big films, including Avengers and Batman and this and that, have been using the Blackmagic for B-roll.
For B-roll, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, so they've been using the Blackmagic for B-roll. I mean, the main cameras are the Arri, Alexa, LF, which is long format and all that, but the second camera, third camera, fourth camera, they're using those.
That's too much detail. I will not know that. I will not know. कितनी बारी देखी है गॉडफादर या पहले बुक पढ़ी थी?
नहीं वो तो बहुत बार, एक दो बार, बट
वैसे ज्यादा बारी नहीं देखी आपने?
I recently it's lying on my table. So there's a very good bookstore in that BKC One, the mall, and they keep these rare editions and new editions and all of that. So I was there and I found a hardcover edition of The Godfather, nice big thick one. So I bought it because I was planning to. I even tweeted about it. I said, it's been years that I've seen that film. I said, now I want to go back to it, rediscover it.
Yeah.
So I read the whole book first.
Nice.
So I read the book, then I saw the film, and then I had some other material about the film. I did that. Then I saw part 2. Okay? Now here's the deal. Here's the strange thing. The world considers Godfather Part 2 as the best sequel ever made. That it was better than 1. I don't think so.
Why?
At all. Because it is, I mean, the writer was the same. But Godfather 2, the entire story is there in the book. It's parts which they have not used. So they just took that and they added one layer of the Pacino thing. So it was very smart.
Yeah.
It's nicely done.
Presented very well.
Yeah. That. And see right there.
I saw. Yeah.
Yeah. So that is the first book by the director himself. That is by Francis Ford Coppola. And that includes the shooting script, the notes,
the military either? You got it from here?
Yeah. I got it. This was one of the books I got from that same store.
Well, take this away.
No, so I mean, for a lover of cinema, okay, I'll tell you, this is an exercise I advise. Please, when I talk to kids, I go to colleges to give chats, with them. I always tell them this, that, so for example, the book is right here. It's called Blood, Sweat and Chrome. Okay, it is about the making of Mad Max Fury Road.
Yeah.
Now, what is unique about that book is that the author, he's divided it. कि concept, कि इसका concept कैसे बना था, concept से ये story board पे कैसे गए, फिर script, फिर इसकी pre-production, planning, production, shooting. So every stage of the filmmaking is one chapter.
Broken it down.
And he only writes the first page. Okay, in a 35 page chapter, one page is written by him, and then are quotes from the various crew members, from the director, from the producer, from the editor, and each person is then contributing, हमने ये किया, फिर मैंने ये किया. And this film, when the director conceptualized it, George Miller, he had 3,000 sketches. Okay, he did not have a word written. There was no script, no screenplay, no story. He had 3,000 sketches which were plastered in an order all over his office. He's in Australia. The producers were in America. The cast was American, and Tom Hardy was from England, of course. So they had to go to his office to meet him, and then he would take them through he said, I don't have a script. And he would take them through all those things. कि ये कहानी ऐसा होगा, मैं ये करूँगा, ये ऐसा करूँगा, ऐसा. It was all in his mind, which he put on paper, with artists also and everything. And that's how it was done. And then after the film was greenlit, he hired a writer. And I said, ये 3,000 illustrations हैं, अभी मेरे को उसका screenplay लिख के दो.
This is absurd. I've never heard this.
But that's what I'm saying. So that, and according to me, if you ask me, in the last 15 years, which is my number one action film, I would say Fury Road. I don't have to think twice about it. One of the best films would be the latest Batman, but Fury Road.
The Patterson one.
Yeah, the Patterson one.
ठीक है.
And but Mad Max Fury Road, now just imagine that director 67. Okay, this is a movie he's made 40 years ago. And he's reimagined it, remade it, and reimagined it in a way you can't. I mean, you're like just blown away by it. But the one thing, acha, then what? Sorry. So I read the whole book. Okay, I was really blown away by it. The one single factor was that when I was shooting my last one in Goa, I was shooting with a whole bunch of younger kids. Okay, the technicians and this and that, because I thought, okay, let me
Try.
something कि भाई I actually wanted to learn from them.
अच्छा.
But वो उल्टा हो गया because they were so kind of in awe of me.
Yeah, of course.
तो बेचारे ना ज़्यादा मुंह खोलते थे ना कुछ करते थे. और मेरा जो राइटिंग पार्टनर था वो मेरे को हमेशा ये बोलता था, यार गुप्स, यू आर नॉट गेटिंग नी सपोर्ट फ्रॉम योर क्रू. Everything you're doing yourself. You're running in the heat from here to there, this, that. I said, I do that in any case. And I said, वो अभी मैं जाके अगर मैं कुछ लाइट एडजस्ट कर रहा हूँ तो बेचारा लाइट मैन वो डर जाता है, अरे यार ये खुद कर रहा है. No, I'm not doing it because you are wrong. I'm doing it for what I want. So here it was the exact opposite, where everybody, from a gaffer to an editor to this, that, everybody only talks about George Miller's vision. And they say we were just doing whatever we could to fulfill his vision. So they were not even working for the film, they were working for him.
Yeah.
That to bring his vision to life. And उसके बाद में मैंने बैठ के पिक्चर देखी पूरी वापस. But now I was understanding the film much better because of that. Then I came back to office. I have another book over there, which is The Art of Fury Road, which is all the sketches, which is, the artwork, this, that, and the articles. The whole book is written about how they made it, how each car was conceived, how it was executed, how it was created, how it was destroyed. So all of that. And it's such a fascinating story about the release of the film.
I'd
Now,
to go through this.
this guy was shooting in the desert for about 90 days. And the suit, the head of Warner Brothers, just flew in on his Warner Brothers plane to Cape Town, walked onto set and said, what the hell is going on? And how many more days do you need to finish the film? And George Miller said, I need about 25, 28 days. He said, you got 11. That's it. And he walked off. He said, on day 12, everything will stop. You've got 11 days. तो उन्होंने बोला ठीक है, तो 11 दिन में जितना कर सकता था किया. अब जाके जॉर्ज मिलर ने कन्फेशन किया है उसमें कि आई वॉज हैप्पी at that time because I had not written the beginning and the end of the film. He didn't know how to finish the film. He didn't know the climax of the film. How will the story to finish? So then they went into editing. Okay. एडिट किया तो स्टूडियो ने, ये अक्टूबर में हुआ, स्टूडियो ने बोला हमको न्यू ईयर पे हमको पिक्चर देखनी है, पहला कट. एंड हिज वाइफ इज द एडिटर. सो दे केम, दे सॉ, उनको कुछ समझ में ही नहीं आया. तो उनको डर वैसे ही लग रहा था कि ये 67-year-old बुड्ढा है, क्या कर रहा है. अच्छा, शूटिंग में द होल फिल्म इज अबाउट टॉम हार्डी एंड चार्लीज थेरॉन टुगेदर. They did not see eye to eye. They hated each other.
Certainly.
So he has shot everything. Uska separate, iska separate, uska separate, iska separate. So all that has also happened. So and the directors never complained and all that. And then he just sat waiting. And luckily, as it happens even now in Bollywood, even there, today somebody who is the CEO of one studio, वो 2 महीने बाद चला गया, वो उधर चला गया, वो इधर आ गया, यहाँ कोई और आ गया. तो अब जो नया CEO आया वार्नर ब्रदर्स का, turned out to be someone who had worked with George Miller as an assistant and was really fond of him.
Yeah.
So he took a flight to Australia, went and met George Miller and said, I need you to complete the film. I don't want to watch it. I want you to complete it. How many days do you need? And he said, I need 28 days. He says, fine, go ahead. So that's how they brought the entire crew back and they finished the film. After finishing the film, at the edit, the studio was not confident. Studio said, यार इसकी बीवी एडिटिंग कर रही है जिसने कभी लाइफ में एक्शन फिल्म एडिट नहीं की है. She has done comedies and drama. And क्या करेंगे मियाँ बीवी बैठ के, हमको नहीं पता. So उन्होंने पैरेलल एडिटिंग करवाई इसको बोल के कि हम भी अपना एक कट बना रहे हैं, आप भी अपना एक कट बना लो, and then we'll see what works. So he said fine, because his level of confidence, his level of belief in himself was so supreme. He said, okay, ठीक है, आप कीजिए. And he was sitting in his house editing with his wife. And they won, I think the first Oscar they won for editing. And the way that film has been cut. Anyway, that's stepping forward.
Yeah.
Coming back, his cut was ready. And he said, okay, I'll bring the film to America and we can all watch it. And studio said, fine, please come. So test screening rakhi gayi. There were about 1,000 people in the theater. बाजू में थिएटर एक मतलब जैसे मल्टीप्लेक्स है, दो स्क्रीन छोड़ के एक और मल्टीप्लेक्स है, वहां पे भी मैड मैक्स की स्क्रीनिंग है जो स्टूडियो का कर simultaneously they played both the cuts.
Yeah.
Okay, and what did George Miller do? He and his wife went and stood in the other theater. अपना कट तो उनको पता है, they've shot it, they made it. They went and stood there and they watched the whole film quietly. Okay. When the screenings were over, the decision was unanimous reaction that his was a far superior film and everything. And they said, no, sir, we'll go with your cut because your cut was far superior. Look at the grace of this man. Nobody told them. He said, yeah, that's fine. But in your cut, there are these two sequences which have been cut better than mine. So I want to use that.
Use them.
Yeah. You know, his wife did not object. I mean, she agreed. She said yes. So just to have that greatness to accept
Yeah, no doubt.
that what you have done is better than mine.
Yeah.
Especially in filmmaking.
Correct.
You know that. So, I mean, and then after that, I was share with my actors and my technicians and my writers after reading all of this and completely absorbing that film. I told them, I said, picture तो वो बनाते हैं हम लोग तो shooting खेलते because the amount of hard work, the amount of, you know, and that is something which you're seeing here now. When you say Pushpa, Bahubali, RRR, Pathan, Jawan, War, Gangubai, these are all the huge hits.
Characters.
Each and every film of these, each and every film in these bunch of films, every scene is meticulously crafted, including Animal. मतलब जैसे बोलते हैं ना कि उसको निचोड़ दिया है पूरा,
समझ गया
कि अब इसमें कुछ बचा नहीं है. So हर एंगल ले लिया गया है, हर इमोशन ले लिया गया है. The kind of hard work that they have done, you know, each sequence there are any level. Like in when I watched Jawan, I was actually laughing, and I was laughing with joy. I said every scene, and if you revisit that film, आपको चल रही होगी देखना, every scene of Jawan, जब शाहरुख खान आता है, उसकी इंट्रोडक्शन है. कभी सिगार जल रहा है, कभी ये हो रहा है, कभी it's what we do. So we used to do that once. हीरो है, हीरो की इंट्रोडक्शन है, तो संजय दत्त आ रहा है, चाकू, जो भी. This guy, they do it in every scene. So they are in a way telling you that hero है, भूलो मत, ये hero है. You know that. So that kind of hard work. So I mean, and I haven't done a film. My last film was I did Kabil in 2017. It released. Next in 2021 we released Mumbai Saga. But Mumbai Saga I went through the two lockdowns, and we suffered at the theater because we released the film, and in 9 days we had to take it off. So anyway that, and then after that, after 2 years, I did a small film called Miranda Brothers because it was just a story I wanted to tell, and I did not want to wait for stars कि उनकी date मिलेंगी जो भी. I had these two wonderful boys, Harshvardhan Rane and Mizan, and the film is about two brothers who are footballers, and Mizan is a professional footballer, and all of that. He's played for Liverpool and you know all that. And Harsh, I know because we are all riders. We're part of a group that rides together on bikes every Sunday mornings.
Very nice.
Or sometimes we go to Goa, we go to, you know, different destinations.
What's the furthest you've gone? What's the
Goa.
Goa?
I want to go.
Ladakh नहीं गए?
I've done that also. I've done the whole Chandigarh to Manali via Spiti, which is a 11-day circuit.
कितने लोग होते हैं आप लोगों के साथ?
वो उसमें that's a commercial one, so that's about 40 riders.
Oh, you are serious about this?
Yeah, of course.
It's quite serious about this.
And this is something we do like every Sunday morning. It's called a breakfast run the world over. So in the biking community, what happens is that on a Sunday morning, you wake up really early at about 6, get ready, and 6:30 you're on the bike. Everybody meets at one spot and you ride out. You ride out approximately an hour and a half away from the city and to some spot. So there's a place called Kharghar, which is an hour and a half from here. We go there, Kharghar में highway पे ही there's a very nice cafe called Cafe Monza. तो हम सब वहाँ जाके रुकते हैं, वो bikes park होती हैं, and we meet in Cafe Monza and we have breakfast together and we have tea and whatever and we discuss.
Cool, yeah.
And by 9 o'clock, you're on your bike again riding back. So 10:30 you're home. It's a Sunday morning, so your kids and wife, everybody सब आराम से उठते हैं. By the time they wake up, you're in time to spend the rest of your day with your family.
What's your machine?
You know, right now I'm riding a Kawasaki Versys 1000, and so yeah, so it's I mean, so when we go to these, so when we used to sit, that's when I first met Harsh, and I didn't know he was an actor. I had not seen any work of his. Just on the ride back, Rohit Roy was with me, and I told Rohit, I said, Rohit, who's that boy? Huh? And he was speaking to me very, sir, this, sir, that, sir, and all that. I said, oh, kaun tha yaar? He said, he's Harshvardhan Rani. He said, he's an actor. I said, oh, okay. Then, and I somewhere took a shine to that guy, and I knew that he's into a lot of physical
Activities.
activities.
ये 5 जेंटलमैन जो आपने लगाए हुए हैं, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल लवली, इनमें से कोई ले जा सकता हूँ मैं? नहीं, एक तो ले जा दो.
No, but I'll try to find the files so you can make printouts.
Please.
ये 5 actually 6 हैं, छठा घर पे है.
अच्छा.
वो Spielberg का है. Yeah. No, this was a set which was gifted to me by my nieces as a birthday gift. So it was a 6-piece set.
Tell me about them. Tell me.
What is your thoughts on these guys?
No, I mean that's Nolan. Now Nolan is the flavor of the season. Coppola is the everlasting one. Scorsese, Tarantino, yes.
Yeah.
But this man, so the guy in the center, that's David Fincher. He's the guy who's made my all-time favorite film called Seven.
7. Spacey and Pitt. Yeah.
So
Oh, that's why Fincher.
yeah, that's Fincher. Then David Fincher has made your Social Network, Panic Room, which is the other one? Yeah, Gone Girl.
Underrated? Underrated लगते हैं?
No, not at all.
No?
David Fincher in the community he's God.
Yeah.
He's God. I mean, his work is so meticulous. His work is so outstanding. And the way he shoots and the way everything. So yeah, he's my hot favorite.
Really?
I really worship the man.
Scorsese, क्या feedback? मतलब feedback तो क्या?
Scorsese is somebody who's defined us. He's defined our filmmaking. He's defined our, because we were watching his material in the formative years. Same was the case with Coppola for that matter.
Of course.
Tarantino came much later, but around the time Tarantino came is also the time when we were becoming
younger.
and we were also becoming directors and everything. I'll tell you a very funny, a little episode. Now, yes, of course, Kaante is inspired by Reservoir Dogs. But the fact is, I have not seen Reservoir Dogs.
Come on.
I haven't seen the film.
Come on. Seriously.
I'm telling you. I don't need to lie. I'm telling you why. I found it boring. Every time I used to start it, 10-15 minutes के बाद मैं बंद कर देता हूँ. There's just a bunch of guys talking. So I've actually never seen that entire film. Okay.
Can I be honest? Sorry to cut you. मैंने भी पूरी नहीं देखी Reservoir Dogs, जबकि मैंने कांटे 2 दफा देखी.
हाँ. क्यों ऐसा? I'm saying no, but I remember in between there was some director, who lashed out at me because I had not supported her film at some festival because I didn't feel it deserved to. So for that she lashed out at me and she said, no, but his films are copied and Kaante is a frame-to-frame remake of Reservoir Dogs. And I just wanted to ask her one question. I said, Reservoir Dogs is about 6 men in a warehouse. Okay? That is reel number 12 of Kaante. When they get into the warehouse.
Correct.
तक 1.5 घंटे की पिक्चर तो 1.5 घंटा किधर से आया?
हाँ.
So Tarantino himself has gone on record and stated that he prefers Kaante to Reservoir Dogs, and he says I love how he's brought in all the backstories of the characters and where
Has he said that?
Yeah, of course. It's all there. It's on the net. Every time he meets a bunch of Indian filmmakers, the first thing he talks about is Kaante. He calls it Kaante. So he says, oh, Kaante and that guy, and whatever. See, there again is grace
Yeah.
from the man. He doesn't need to say that some kid sitting in Bombay has made a better film than mine. But he says it. And the thing is that what many people always see, half of them are bloody ignorant. Not many know that Reservoir Dogs itself is a remake of a Hollywood of a Hong Kong film. City on Fire. So it's
Fantastic.
And the killing and this and that.
Correct.
Yeah, so it was just that. So
You know what's the coolest thing? What मेरे को कभी नहीं भूल सकता मैं about Kaante. I was very young when I saw Kaante.
yeah, of course, it's been 20 years.
You know what's the coolest thing was when Datta was taking out the Magnum and that sound effect. Was that intentional? That was intentional, right? I feel like that's come from you.
No. There's a lot. So, for example, when I was making Atish, एंड आतिश की जब भी मिक्सिंग चल रही थी तो हमारी मिक्सिंग वही होते थे, साउंड इफेक्ट्स होते थे, वो रील्स होती थी सब. और मेरे को याद है उसमें एक सीन है कि वो गाड़ी रुकती है, शक्ति कपूर उतरता है और वो गाड़ी का दरवाज़ा बंद होता है और टप करके ऐसे साउंड आती है. मैंने यार इंग्लिश पिक्चर में हमेशा भप करके आती है, तो ये ठप करके क्यों आ रही है? मैंने ये नहीं. देन आई कॉल्ड माई म्यूजिक डायरेक्टर एंड आई सेड ऑन दैट point, can you just give me a kick, dup, at the back? Then that dup and tuck, dup, karke, then that's how we got the sound. So there were little things like that, because here we were so accustomed to it, because also like a very, very lesser known, almost unknown fact, it was back in the year 1993, the first Hindi film to ever be mixed on Dolby was a film called Ramshastra. And that was my second film. And we had gone to, the producer was very supportive. His name was Firoz Nadiadwala, one of the biggest producers of the time. So Firoz told me कि Gupta, 2 reel, we were told कि why don't you just bring 2 reels to London with the effects and everything. तो मेरे को आज भी याद है, एक रील में हमने गाना रखा था, एक रील में पूरा एक्शन सीक्वेंस रखा था, और वो 2 रील लेके हम लोग लंदन गए. We spent 3 days and we mixed it in Dolby and we got the print and we came back to Bombay. In the whole of Maharashtra or maybe India, there was only one theatre which had Dolby, which was Sterling Theatre in town. So we invited all the filmmakers from here, because we were also doing it as an initiative with Dolby because they wanted to come to India. So we invited everybody to Sterling and we showed those 2 reels. Okay, see how your film will sound when you mix it in Dolby. You got your surround sound center, of course, all that. Then you got your subwoofers. Now, all those things we never took into account while. So when I was mixing Atish, I did not think about the lows because there were no subwoofers. But Atish was also done in 4-track stereo. But so that's something we did, and unfortunately our film got delayed. And Vidhu Chopra was there for that screening, and he also did 1942.
Yes.
But he released before us. So officially, if you Google, so 1942 is the first film that was done on Dolby, and then we did it. So, but the whole point was
You picked on all these things, which is, I mean, amazing.
but because one wanted, I mean, even now there's so much I still need to do. I mean, I've just sent my manager. I was working on a presentation for my first show that I'm working on, and it's a very unique presentation I made and everything. And so in the morning, my daughter walked into the room and I said, "Beta, come see. I was doing something. I want to show you how it looks." And it's very visual, that whole project. It's 40 pages of design. And so I just kept clicking on the slides, and just the visuals are going like that. And then she says, "Daddy, can I tell you something?" I said, "Give me your phone." She takes my phone. No. She takes my phone and does something, and then plays a track. Some crazy track which I've not heard, English, but some, dark industrial song. And she played that to me. She's saying, "This is the music you need to use.
Oh, wow.
This will go with this. So whenever you make this, you have to have this song in it."
You think they're picking, okay, seriously, you think they're picking stuff from you when it comes to the film line?
No, not really. But it's just that, of course, they see what I do. And unfortunately, all my films have been adults.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and they were too young to watch them also and everything. So now when I recently had a screening of my film, Miranda Brothers. So I told them, I said, all your friends and all the friends from the building next to us, I said, get everybody, put them all in a car, in the big car, and let's get them. So ये तो खाने पीने के लिए आते हैं, उनको उसका ज़्यादा है, जाएंगे, there's all these yummy things and all that. So all the kids came. In the interval, they're just looking at me like, okay, now I'll tell you the person I am. So I come to office only when it's needed. And generally, when it's my kids' holidays, those 2 months, only if there's some very important work, I'll come here. Otherwise, I work from home. I spend my time with them. I'm always in shorts and a torn t-shirt at home doing my masti. And I'm constantly playing with them and their friends and this and that and that. तो फ्रेंड्स ना, अगले दिन सुबह जब मैं उन लोग घर पे बैठे थे, मैं नीचे आया, तो they looking at me, they say, "Uncle, you direct very well, yeah. Where are you gonna?" So I पता है उनको क्या लगता होगा कि यार ये तो है ना चड्डी पहन के मस्ती करता रहता है. They realize, oh,
But you see the validation of it. Yeah, all that. Arey, bus like an most honest answer you will ever
no,
get.
no, when the film got over, my son came out because my son is also almost a professional footballer and he's a major football enthusiast and all that. And the film is about football. So he came out and he just hugged me.
Yeah.
He just hugged me and he said, Daddy, that's the best film I've seen. I've not got better validation than that.
and I said, you will not.
This is the first time that
Honest.
children have, are coming out and saying that. It's like, what
Is this your first? Yeah, rest of the movies are all adult, right? Yeah. All.
just by some twist of fate.
Yeah. Set पे एक आप because आपकी भी you're a multi-star cast films that you've done. Set पे boss कौन होता है?
Boss नहीं होता है.
Boss मतलब मेरा मतलब है
I'm not one of those. See, I'm not one of
No,
those
no.
directors that
By boss I mean like see in
the director's boss. Simply, he's a captain. He's not boss. He's a captain.
when you're dealing with someone like a Dutt or a Shah Rukh Khan who are how does that work?
See, look, there is nobody right now. The only person that I was ever intimidated by, that was only in the first narration and a first day on set, was Mr. Bachchan. Because obviously he is Mr. Bachchan. Yeah, we've grown up. The rest, whether it is Sanju, Shah Rukh and me started from the same production house. Both our films were made at the same time. First film, Raju Bargia, Gentleman, and Atish. So for me, they are regular guys. They're not stars. I never consider them,
Sorry to cut you off. You went and narrated Kaante to Bachchan Saab.
Haan.
What was his reaction? Can I tell you? You told him how exactly it's going to be? I'd love to.
That's a really cool story. So
Tell me this.
So the origin of Kaante, it was called Dagdi Chaul.
Acha.
Okay, and I had been out of work for about 4-5 years. 2 pictures flop हो गई थी, कोई हाथ नहीं लगा रहा था, कुछ नहीं है वो. So I said, यार, forget this multi-star cast, big things I do. I wrote a film. So in Bombay, there was a very big robbery, जिसके ऊपर एक picture बनी थी, Special 26.
Ah, yes.
So the Tribhuvan Das jewelry store there was a heist. And till today, it is unsolved. That heist happened almost 40 years ago. So my thought was that, what if that heist is done by these 6 guys with all that jewelry and gold and diamonds, and they all come back to this place called Dagdi Chaul, okay, which was Arun Gowlie's.
Acha.
Okay, and they are in one tenement inside there. अब वो लूट बांट रहे हैं, उतने में पुलिस बाहर से घेर लेती है और इनको अंदर पता लगता है कि हम में से एक खबरी है, पुलिस वाला नहीं है, खबरी है. And now there's evil outside and there's evil inside. And how they're trying to solve and find, okay, who is that? So that is the thing I did. And I went and met Sanju, who was shooting in a studio called Filmistan. And I said, Sanju, I want to narrate something to you because I just want you to give me your name. Okay, Sanjay Dutt presents. तो ऐसे फिर मेरे को कोई ना कोई मिल जाएगा क्योंकि पिक्चर 6 न्यू कमर्स के साथ में. तो you saying to you make you. I said, yeah. He said, okay, chal, on the way back, we'll listen. I said, okay. So if we were driving back, he was driving, I was sitting next to him. His driver was following us in my car. I narrated the entire story to him. And right on this road, down the road is Mr. Bachchan's first bungalow.
Yeah.
He used to stay there.
Yeah.
तो हमेशा वही होता था, उनके वो सिग्नल क्रॉस करके he would pull over. And I used to get down and go back to Versova in my car. He would go to Bandra. So he pulled over. And he said, Goops, it's damn good, yeah. The idea is mind-blowing, there's that. Yeah, I want to play Ajju. I said, yeah, don't start your nonsense now. You want to play Ajju. I said, I want to make it with newcomers. तू Ajju बनेगा तो मेरे को बाकी फिर newcomers कैसे डालूंगा? तो तेरे stature के होंगे ना?
Of course.
तो इसी क्यों नहीं? And I wanted Nasiruddin Shah to play Major's role.
Acha.
With the 5 kids. So he said, instead of Nasir bhai, why don't you take him? I said, देख फिर अभी तो मैं वो language नहीं use कर रहा हूँ. तो I said, अभी हो गया तेरा चालू कि अमिताभ बच्चन को ले लो. मैं क्या तू खाने का मजाक है क्या? He said, नहीं तू घर चल. I went to Bandra to his house. We sat down in a study. Chai वाय मंगाई चाय. And this guy picked up the phone. कॉल किया. हाँ सर, संजू बोल रहा हूँ. हाँ जी ये हाँ सर. Sir, my brother-in-law, he's making a film and would love to narrate to you, sir. We have a role for you. So he said, okay. And I'm looking and said, stop. He said, you're good to go tomorrow. I said, no. I said, I need a day at least to prepare, So he said, sir, परसों सुबह. He said, सामने वाले ने बोला, हाँ 11 बजे. He hung up. And he's saying 11 o'clock day after. His house, which is the new house over here, Jalsa.
Yeah.
So I said, यार तू क्यों पंगे ले रहा है यार, नहीं कभी लाइफ में नहीं करेंगे. He said, नहीं तो I said ठीक है. So वो nervousness चालू हो गई. And at 11, I mean 10:55 dot, I pulled up and I drive myself from many years. I pulled up outside Amitji's house and the guard came running out. One other guy came running out. Said, sir, we'll park the car and this way. So मेरे को रास्ता बताया कि वो सीढ़ी है, वहाँ से आपको 2 माले पे जाना है. मैं ठीक है. I walked into his compound, stepped into the CD. The minute you step into the CD, and he never answers me. I always tell him, I said, sir, ये जान के किया है आपने या ये मतलब एक नेचुरल है?
क्या?
तो क्या है, आप 2 माले चढ़ोगे सीढ़ी, वो सीढ़ी आप जैसे ही एंटर करते हो, देयर इज अमिताभ बच्चन ब्लैक एंड व्हाइट पिक्चर्स फ्रॉम हिज मूवीज, फ्रॉम हिज शूटिंग, शोले का, इसका, उसका. तो जब तक आप 2 माले पे पहुंचते हो, वैसे ही आप यू फील सो लिटिल कि मैं who am I going to meet? I'm going to meet God, and they take you into a very well furnished room and make you sit on the sofa and say, would you like something, sir? I said, no, nothing. I'm sitting looking around, and then this door opens and out walks this giant, white Pathani shawl. Hello, Sanjay, I'm Amitabh Bachchan. I'm just looking up. I said, I know. So he's saying, no, come. And he leads me into the room, makes me sit. He says, I'll just be back in a few minutes. Okay, sir. He leaves. Now I'm alone in his room and I'm looking around. I've been an audiophile also. So I know that he was the only actor who used to be, apart from that, who was into very high-tech sound systems. Okay, so the amplifiers he used, the gramophones he used, the speakers, well, I mean, we're talking about 50, 60 lakh plus back in the 80s and 90s, that way. So anyway, so I immediately looked to see where his equipment was. I saw those speakers, I recognized them, I recognized the equipment, all that. One other thing very unique I remember is, on his desk was this big mug. And the mug was a pen stand. मतलब उसमें पेन्स डाले हुए थे. एंड वो मतलब कम से कम 25-30 पेन थे और वो सारे के सारे मॉब्लांक के डिजाइनर एडिशंस थे. वैसे ठीक है, अमिताभ बच्चन के घर में होगा, मेरे घर में. And then he came and sat down.
Yeah.
And he said, yes, please start. I said, okay, sir. I started narrating, behaving myself. And he's just sitting like that. So then I got a little nervous. So I said, yeah, this is not going well. And usually I'm very good with my narrations and all of that. So I said, sir, tell me. So I said, sir, if you don't mind, can I just narrate it in my style, sir? मैं ना बहुत फॉर्मल होकर नरेट कर रहा हूँ.
हाँ.
तो मैं थोड़ा मेरे अपना एक आध गाली वाली निकल जाएगी, ये वो. नो प्रॉब्लम, यू जस्ट बी कंफर्ट, नरेट हाउ यू वांट टू. नाउ व्हाट वाज द थॉट इन माय माइंड बिफोर दिस, माय थॉट वाज क्या, किसी दिन मैं टेल माय ग्रैंडचिल्ड्रन कि मैंने अमिताभ बच्चन के घर में उसको कहानी सुना. तो मतलब एक ही मौका है, सुनाओ. तो देन आई स्टार्टेड, ये फुल जोश हो. अब तक तो मेरा जोश चल रहा था, तो मैं बोलते गया. आधे घंटे के बाद कहानी खत्म हो गई. एंड दैट इज द मोस्ट टेरिफाइंग 20-25 seconds of my life.
Is there a reaction on
Nothing. That's
nothing,
what
right?
So he's just watching you. In his mind, he's processing what he's heard. हाँ ऐसा होगा, वो होगा, जो भी. But his face is blank. Mouth is a little open. And I'm just looking back. अब मेरा धक हुई, अच्छी लगी, बुरी लगी, कुछ, and no response. Till finally I said, so sir, what do you think? Oh, it's fantastic. I love it. I like it. I almost couldn't believe it. I said, okay sir, फिर मैं चलता हूँ. I just had to run out to sit. I kicked out. Immediately called Sanju. I said, यार तू फोन करके पूछ ले, मैं तो I'm in a zone. And then Sanju said, no, you come home. So by the time I went to his house and he hugged me and he said, he's gone mad, he loved it, this, that. And that's how the journey started. अभी जब संजय दत्त और अमिताभ बच्चन पिक्चर में आ गए,
Then
तो obviously,
Yeah.
And those days every evening we used to hang out in Sanju's house. So me, Sanju, Fast बन रही थी तभी, तो महेश मांजरेकर आता था.
Sorry to cut you off. I want to be a wall on that room. What were you guys doing? क्या कर रहे थे?
नहीं, हम लोग गप्पे में मारते. We used to have a lot of fun here. We were friends, hang out every day together, drink together, this, that. So one day Mahesh is there and I just looked at him and I said, यार महेश, हाँ, मैं तो मेरी पिक्चर में एक्ट करेगा. मैं कमाल रोल है मेरे पास, बहुत अच्छा रोल है ये वो. मैं करूँगा ना यार. तो मैंने मैं तेरे को कल स्क्रिप्ट देता हूँ, पढ़ ले। तो उसने स्क्रिप्ट पढ़ी, मेरे को फ़ोन किया, बोला गुप्स मतलब मैं कर दूंगा ये रोल के साथ में। तो मैं बोला ठीक है। अच्छा, फिर मैंने संजू को शूटिंग से पहले भी बोला था, बोला संजू अभी भी देर नहीं हुई है, अज्जू की जगह बाली का रोल कर ले। I said it is, that character is written in a manner.
Yeah.
Of course, Mahesh took it to all another level. I said, but that character is like that, na? कि मतलब तू unexpected, crazy, but and he told me, he's saying, but Gups, the character of Ajju is also so edgy and crazy.
It is. Yeah.
So he's saying, no, तू रहने दे जैसा है। मैं ठीक है। Then कुमार गौरव भी हमारे साथ, क्योंकि साथ में ही रहता था संजू के नीचे.
Of course.
We used to all hang out together. And I don't know, at one point he would have told me that, Gups, I really want to do one film with you, man, something. So I told him, I said, Bunty, तू करेगा? तो बोला हाँ, of course करूँगा यार. So that's कुमार गौरव आ गया, सुनील शेट्टी आ गया. अभी तो ओनली एक्टर, हर एक ने मेरे को, मिस्टर बच्चन इंक्लूडेड, ने फर्स्ट नरेशन में ओके कर दिया था. The only actor who made me narrate the script thrice to him on 3 different occasions was Akshay Khanna, because I wanted him in the Lucky Ali role. And he was unsure कि ये character villain है कि hero है, because he's betraying them, but at the same time he's doing his job. तो वो हाँ ना चल रहा था. And I had announced the film and I had said this will be the first Hindi movie which will have multiple composers. तो 6 गाने हैं, वो 6 composer होंगे, and I had named them. And Lucky Ali was one of them, Strings was one of them, Bidu was one of them. I just wanted very out of the box guys who were not doing your regular film music. So I met Lucky, narrated the whole film to him, and I said, I need a song. So he says, Gups, I've got a song. And he played Moth, जो picture में भी है. And मैं बोला, यार, this is it. This is the sound I want. So I said, चल संजू को मिलने जाते हैं. So we went, Sanju was shooting in Mehboob Studios. So we went, sat down in the van. Now Sanju and Lucky have grown up together. भाई वो सुनील दत्त का बेटा है, वो महमूद का बेटा है यार, तो ये बड़े बाप के बच्चे वो सब थे, तो यू नो दे नो ईच अदर वेरी वेरी वेल. तो दे मेट आफ्टर लॉन्ग टाइम, दे हैंगिंग आउट, वो आपस में गप्पे वप्पे मार रहे हैं, एंड मैं वो खाली देख रहा हूँ, लुकिंग एट लकी, एंड आई सेड आई जस्ट कम. आई स्टेप्ड आउट ऑफ द वैन एंड फ्रॉम आउटसाइड आई मैसेज संजू. आई सेड हाउ अबाउट हिम फॉर द कॉप यार. तो उसका मैसेज है, फक ग्रेट आइडिया, मतलब वेट आई एम कमिंग इन. आई केम एट द सेट अप एंड दैट आई टोल्ड लकी, आई सेड लकी एक्ट करेगा क्या? तो he said, एक्ट करेगा मतलब क्या? देखो तो म्यूजिक चाहिए ना. I said, I want you to do one of the characters in the, you know, and all of that. And that's how he came on board.
He's done a fantastic job.
And actually, you know what set Kaante apart was Mahesh, Lucky and Bunty. क्योंकि संजय दत्त, सुनील शेट्टी, अमिताभ बच्चन, अब समझो उसके साथ में it could be आदित्य पंचोली, अजय देवगन, गोविंदा, whatever. You know, these 3 guys which made you question, यार ये क्या कर रहे हैं, ये क्या पिक्चर है,
बराबर.
you know, and nobody was given more or less, everybody was always presented in the same manner. कोई भी पोस्टर में, कांटे का पोस्टर आप देख लो, बाहर भी लगा हुआ है, सबके सब एक जैसे. So you know that you've given equal prominence to
all of them.
an unknown face like Mahesh. As much as Sanjay Dutt was a major star, as much as Mr. Bachchan was a superstar, you know that. So that became.
Mahesh Manjrekar stole a lot of that movie.
Oh yeah,
100%.
Of course he did. That's what I'm saying. He just took it to the
Yeah.
next level, you know, including the fact that it was not my idea that he's going to be blonde head.
That was him.
That was him. The first day he walked onto set,
Yeah, it killed
लंबे
someone.
बाल, वो वैसे वो किए हुए, ऐसे ये क्या है?
कान में बाली, मुंह पे गाली.
इसी को देख ना, मैं करता हूँ ना, मैं करता हूँ. ऐसे fantastic. Good.
And see that you can see on screen na. We should watch the movie again. I'll see the movie tonight again actually. I want to see it. All good with that sab now?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You guys talk and everything?
Regularly.
Yeah. So when are we seeing him back with you again?
Not finding a script yet, yeah.
No?
No. I had a script. I had one script which is really interesting. I wrote that film and I was in Pune when I wrote it. I mean, I don't know, I was in a very fucked up frame of mind for some reason. And it was the first time I had fought, or rather my son had fought with me and sulked and all that. And I found myself isolated and the rest of the family on one side. So I was just in a certain frame of mind. And instead of ranting or venting, I just took my laptop and I went and sat down on the dining table. So then 9 o'clock in the morning. And I started writing a script. And at 1 o'clock, my wife told me that we have to go. Her mom stays there, and so we stay very close to them. The lunch is at mom's. Get ready. 1:30 we have to be there. So I said, okay. And I just shut the laptop. I didn't give a thought to what I had written. Nothing. We went for lunch and whatever. Next morning, my two nieces are there. They are my goddaughters. So I narrated to them, and they were both in their mid-20s at the time. So I said, beta, come, I just wanted your feedback. So I said, okay, mama. I said, बेटो वो कुछ 9 पेज थे कहानी के, वो मैंने पढ़े उनको. And it just comes up to a point and it stops. So I said, what happens next? I said, I don't know. So they said, but what will be the end of this film? How does it end? So one says, obviously it has to be dark. She's saying, you cannot, this story cannot have a happy ending. She's saying, no, but how can it not? No. तो वो उन दोनों का मैं कॉन्फ्लिक्ट देख रहा हूँ. मतलब इन्होंने आधी कहानी सुनी है और it has impacted them.
Yeah. I want to listen to this now.
And so I said, beta, I seriously don't know, but now I'm going to sit and write. And I don't know the solution of the story. कि कहाँ खत्म होगी. So they said, okay. Now I have a ritual in my house. From the time my babies are born, my ritual is that even when I'm working, I don't work on Sundays. Acha, Sunday also I will work. You call me at 5 o'clock in the morning, I'm okay. But I will not work after 12:30.
Why?
That's my brunch and
Acha.
white wine and gin and tonic.
Okay,
time.
very good. Very
That
good.
one day.
Yeah.
So I take my kids, my wife, and we go, either Marriott or the club, whatever. They know, my family knows. So now they've become big. Earlier they didn't have a choice. Now they've become big. No, I have this plan, that plan. I said, I don't care what plans you have. The whole week is yours.
Sunday मेरा.
I said, एक lunch, वो भी Sunday में वो 2-3 घंटे, वो मेरे हैं. वो तुम्हारा मूड है, नहीं है, जो भी है. My wife told me, they become big, उनका भी Sunday है. I said, I don't care. I said, I devote the whole week to them. They can give me to us. Simple. I said, so can you. So it is an unwritten thing in our family, Sunday afternoon. So that Sunday afternoon also, and we went Pune, तो all the more reason holiday पे. सब तैयार हुए, मैं बाहर आया, others were getting ready. So I made myself a gin and tonic and I sat down on the dining table. I took a sip, kept a glass, and I opened the laptop. And I started writing the latter part of the script. Wife came down, kids came down. I said, you all carry on, I'll join you all in a bit. Wherever you all are, let me know. They said, okay. मैं लिखता गया, and suddenly I realized that it's 3:30 and I had not touched my drink. And I picked up that drink, went to the kitchen, I chucked it. I said, अभी क्या छोड़ो ना, अभी क्या पीना है. Came and sat down. By 5:30, I finished writing. I shut it. And I was myself trying to process कि यार ये क्या लिख दिया. And I sent that mail immediately to my assistant, my first AD. He read it, he called me back. He said, sir, this is where the hell did this come from? So you've never discussed this also with us. We usually have some ideas. I say,
Open about it. Yeah.
So he's saying, can I just tell you one thing? I said, yeah. He's saying, sir, कुछ भी हो जाए, ऐसे पिक्चर तो बनाएंगे ये. He said, but कुछ भी हो जाए, आपके पास कितना भी प्रेशर आ जाए, कुछ भी हो जाए. बोला, don't change the end. I want to know now. No, he told me, don't change the end. And I said, do you realize that there's a 55-year-old hero and there's a 35-year-old hero in it. Two men and two fathers, basically. So I said, the older guy said, who do you see? He's saying, come on, you've written it for him. He's saying, that is Baba. That is Sanju. I said, yeah, you're right. I said, halfway through when I was writing it, I didn't start out writing कि मैं संजू के लिए script लिख रहा हूँ. But halfway through, that character just started evolving naturally in such a way that I could only see him. And then I was decided, I said, okay. So that is a film that I had written for Sanju and John. And I immediately called Sanju on Monday morning and I said, tu kidhar hai? So he said, I'm shooting, I'm outdoor. I said, when are you back? So he said, I'm back on Friday. So I said, okay, let's meet Saturday. I need to give you something to read. And it was about 16 pages. अब मेरी जिद क्या थी कि तू मेरे सामने पढ़ेगा. तो जब खत्म होगा ना, मेरे को तेरा रिएक्शन देखना है. How you react. That is very important for me. So he said, okay, Goops, then Saturday. I said, we'll meet for lunch. रात को नहीं मिलेंगे, दारू वारू नहीं पीनी है. I said, we'll meet for lunch. And he said, okay. Then he called me back in 10 minutes. And he said, you realize in 15 years, it's been 15 years, you've not called me for a script. You've not told me that you've written something for me. I said, yeah. So he's saying, I wanted to be special, so we won't meet on Saturday, we'll meet on Sunday. I said, gaya mera Sunday brunch. So he's saying, No. I said, "ठीक है." I said, "But why not Saturday?" He said, "Well, Saturdays I'm vegetarian." And he's saying, "You're coming after so long, and everything I want to cook for you." तो he said, वो उसको बड़ा शौक है, मटन होना चाहिए, फिश होना चाहिए, ये वो सब. So I said, ठीक है. So I went on a Sunday, and it was just the two of us in the house. And when the chefs were there in the kitchen, there was nobody else. In his study, we were sitting on the bar counter. He was inside, I was outside. And he said, क्या पढ़ना है? मैंने अभी पढ़ना नहीं है, क्योंकि क्या हो गया था? From Monday to Saturday, those 9-10 pages had become 39 pages. कि मैं तो लिखते ही जा रहा था. तो ऐसे नहीं, अब मैं तेरे को सुनाता हूँ. And I narrated the whole thing to him, and I could see him, I could feel him as he was hearing, a sense of inflation. That feeling, that. It got over. He just walked to me. I stood up. He just hugged me, and we both started crying. And he said, "Ghost, where the hell? What is this? What have you written?" He thought maybe it's inspired by some film or something. I said, "No, it's from the heart." He's saying, "Fuck, we have to make this." I said, "Done." So अब क्या होता है ना, जैसे हम लोग बोलते हैं कि हर पिक्चर की अपनी किस्मत होती है, तो वो कहानी बन गई, 2 बड़े हीरो हो गए. The biggest studio in the business has signed the film. They paid money, but there's no progress on it. It's that way. So I'm used to that after so many years. We know when the time is right, things fall into place. You cannot do anything. You can't, like these last 2 years, there's been no work. Everywhere. There's such a big slowdown.
Yeah.
But fine. So what have I been doing? I've been sitting and writing. I put together so many projects.
ये राइटिंग का एक सवाल स्ट्रेट अप पूछूंगा, मेरे को ऑनेस्ट जवाब देना. दारू पी के वो करते हो?
कभी नहीं.
लगता नहीं है कि बेटर?
नहीं. No. Boss, the minute I wake up,
And you write in the morning or night?
I write morning and night, but not after 8 o'clock. After 8 o'clock is drinking time.
Yeah, but do you not?
No. I always laugh about it. I always joke. In my interviews, I said, see, the thing is, I wake up in the morning and the mind is already functioning. You may be reading a paper, you may be on Twitter, you may be doing something, this, that, but wo kahin na kahin, it's churning. About this script, about that scene, what music are you. So that is constantly on. If I'm watching something, the filmmaker in me is, so I always laugh about this. I said the only time I switch off is between drink number 2 and 4. That's the only time where then I'm not thinking about work. I can just sit and watch some nonsense TV, some YouTube pay, ya jo bhi, and that's it. But that's all. But other than that, it's a constant churn. It's just there.
Okay.
So then you just wait at the right time. The right film comes along. But this film is now officially called Zinda 2.
Zinda 2?
Yeah, because it's in that same space.
तो फिर वो
It's dark and
Yeah.
it's twisted. You cannot predict what's going to happen.
You think
you'll
you'll
male driven?
you'll face some backlash again, वही old boy वाला चक्कर फिर ऐसा कुछ होगा?
Because कुछ लेना देना नहीं है. It's nothing to do with the original Zinda. It is in the same. You see, it's like when you see True Detective, and then you see season 2, Delhi Crime season 2. So it's in the same mold.
Okay.
It's that same genre. It's that same. So like how Zinda was set in Bangkok, this one is set in Johannesburg. And because there's a part of Johannesburg which is so screwed up.
Yeah.
Soweto.
Yeah.
They have the largest and the most dangerous slum in the world.
Yeah, and you're shooting that? No.
Yeah. I remember the first time I was in Joburg, and we wanted to go into Soweto, Sanju and me, and we had a local friend over there, Amy, and Amy said, okay, I'll take you all, but I have to make some arrangements. So I said, what arrangements? I said, देखो अंदर कोई भाई लोग से बात करने गया. तो he's saying, नहीं वैसा कुछ नहीं है. He's saying बाहर से आएंगे साथ में. The next day when we were ready, we came out, and there was a proper police guard. There was an escort of 4 cars. There were 2 in front, 2 at the back. That was sent, and it was the commissioner's motorcade. And in that we were driven in, so then nobody messed with you. And we went there, and I remember we went to this restaurant, and in that restaurant we sat and had a whole, African meal, because I told like Sanju loves his meats. So all of that. And what was very unique in that restaurant was that the entire walls of the restaurant were covered in visiting cards. So everybody who's been there,
अच्छा.
and the owners put their cards on the walls. So all those people from all over the world
Yeah.
who've been to that part of the world, and and we saw Mandela's house and all of that. So yeah, so there's a part, and this film is again very monochromatic. So nobody will be wearing colors. The grays
Again,
and
the
blacks.
same shades.
The cars are like that. The skies are overcast.
Okay.
So gray is the prominent color. There is no color, in that, because what is happening in the film, what's happening with the characters, and the only color you see is the color of blood.
Yeah.
And these characters are such that their lives have become gray. Their lives have become dark, and they need to get out of that.
One last thing. Do you think koi fascination, I don't know, what is it towards Sanjay Dutt and even John Abraham to an extent?
No, see, I'll tell you
what is that thing?
No, it's not that thing. See, these are men. Now, when I have grown up watching movies in the 80s, were my formative years, late 70s, 80s, by 90s I was a director. So, who are the heroes? Yeah, I have seen a phase where my heroes were Amitabh Bachchan, Vinod Khanna, Dharmender, Shatrughan Sinha.
Correct.
ठीक है, ये मर्द थे, इनकी फिल्में, और उसी एक बहुत हिंदी सिनेमा had a lovely phase from the 70s to the early 80s where you had parallels, where you went to see pictures of these big guys, okay, Dharamji, Jeetuji, Amitji and all, and you also went and saw pictures of Mahinder Sandhu, Vinod Mehra, with equal. हम ये नहीं सोचते थे हम यार ये छोटी पिक्चर है, and at the same time you were enjoying films of Amol Palekar.
Yeah.
Okay, so at that time is gone, that kind of stardom, because everybody survived in that ecosystem. And then after that, in the 80s, early 80s came Sunny Deol, Sanjay Dutt, Jackie Shroff, Anil Kapoor.
Yeah.
Again, and these were guys. So, and more importantly, who were the directors? There was Ramesh Sippy, there was Mukul Anand, there was Raj Sippy, there was JP Datta, there was Mani Ratnam. I mean, we have grown up on their cinema, yaar. तो हम छिचोरापन तो कर ही नहीं सकते, दिखाई नहीं सकते, हमको आता नहीं है. That's why when they talk about with us, the way he presents his heroes, and I said, but because I think that way. And for me, it's very important that the person I'm walking with, if today Sanjay Dutt walks in, John Abraham walks in, you see, everybody takes note. Arey koi aaya. There's a presence in the room.
100%. Yeah.
80% of the new guys, you wouldn't bother.
No.
There are no personalities. I'm not taking names, but if they walk into a room, yeah, fine, yaar, that. मतलब मैं इनको मजाक में बोलता हूँ. मैं बोलता हूँ ये सामने जुहू बीच है, शिव सागर रेस्टोरेंट है, सबसे फेमस है, पर दुनिया भर के टूरिस्ट आते हैं वहाँ पे सब कुछ. मतलब जुहू बीच पे एक शाम को खाली एक साइड पे, बाकी भी छोड़ दो. ऐसे सिर्फ अन्ना सुनील शेट्टी को खड़ा कर दो एक साइड पे, आज इस जनरेशन का कोई स्टार खड़ा कर दो, देखो पब्लिक कहाँ जाती है. अच्छा जैकी श्रॉफ को खड़ा कर दो और उसके सामने कोई करंट जनरेशन. So that's the stardom they have, yeah. So even when I conceive my films, I write my films. So those characters automatically are, with gravitas. And that is why I say, achha, now the directors working today, who are in their early 30s probably, right? तो इन्होंने फिल्में देखना शुरू की from 2000 onwards.
They have seen your films.
They've seen a little of my work, and they've seen a little of Ramu's work. Apart from that, what? So they've grown up, like I say, and I don't say this in a bad way. Now Shah Rukh is doing action, but he wasn't doing action all these years. So I always say they've grown up on Shah Rukh Khan and Amir Khan, and that's cinema. So it's not in their system to know herogiri. And today the audience wants precisely that, which the South is giving you. We have stopped giving it.
सही कह रहे हो.
अच्छा, हम लोग के साथ भी यही हुआ, रामू के साथ हुआ, मेरे साथ हुआ to some extent. At some point of time, this is about 10-15 years ago, it became more important to get good reviews.
You pay attention?
We did.
Achha.
And that's a mistake all of us
You don't
made.
come across as someone who does.
No, I'm just, because what happened was that suddenly I said, no, I also want respect of these guys. These are fucking assholes. You don't need their respect. They make a living off
you
ridiculing. Yeah, that's it. That's what a critic is. Because you critique a film, you critique a story. You don't critique the people.
No.
You don't demean the people. The only two from this generation and previous, only two filmmakers who've never given a shit about reviews are the most successful directors. David Dhawan and Rohit Shetty.
True.
आई डोंट थिंक रोहित की किसी पिक्चर को इन लोगों ने 1.5 स्टार, वो 5 स्टार डिजर्व करने वाली पिक्चर होगी ना, तो भी वो 1.5 के ऊपर नहीं देंगे.
And I don't think he cares.
Yeah, he doesn't care. He doesn't give a shit. It's always been that way. You know?
yeah.
So, but somewhere we started caring and we started losing touch with commercial cinema, mass cinema, music. I mean, it was impossible for me to conceive a film without music. And on my last film, I actually sat down with Bhushan Kumar, who was also my producing partner. And I said, Bhushan, यार वो 5 में से मैंने 3 गाने निकाल दिए. 2 ही हैं because they're not going with the narrative. They're not, I said, वो कहानी को रोक रहे हैं गाने. ऐसे गैंगस्टर की स्टोरी हो, गैंगस्टर गाना तो नहीं गाने चाहिए.
नहीं देख
तो सामने एनकाउंटर स्पेशलिस्ट है बेस्ड ऑन रियल कैरेक्टर्स, वो भी गाना नहीं गाएगा, तो गाना कौन गाएगा? तो हमने एक सीक्वेंस बनाया जिसमें हनी सिंह गाना गा रहा है. No, in the background in a club. So I mean, then we had to come down to
go
that.
by it, yeah.
But now going forward, I'm writing songs back in. It was the one process that I used to find most satisfying. In the whole process of filmmaking, not the shooting, not the editing, the creation of the songs. Sit with the music director, sit with the lyricists, give them the situation, inspire them, then they would come up with something. Then the recording of the song, then the execution of that song. So that is... And there's something very interesting. You may enjoy it very much. Is on YouTube. There is this guy who has a channel. Everybody has YouTube channel.
Okay.
तो वो बंदा कभी अपना फेस नहीं दिखाता है. वो जो चीजें बात कर रहा है वो उन फिल्मों की. He talks about a film from 1960, 65, 70. Then he does top 40 films of 1970, 71, 72, 73. Those top 40 films, he ranks them, each episode of 12 minutes is only 10 films. He talks about 10 films.
Okay.
I love watching that. I really love watching that because, you kind of, कि यार 75 में जब मैं 8 साल का था, तो कौन सी पिक्चरें चल रही थी, मैंने भी देखी होंगी. पर वो, he gives you the box office numbers, how the film performed, a little story behind the making of the film, who was supposed to be the original, who was cast. In all of those, I've seen countless. There were more than 250 episodes of his. तो मेरा तो रोज रात का मेरा टाइम पास वो है. Once the kids go up to sleep, I play YouTube and I listen to Rakesh Mathur.
Very nice.
And he also tells you, he's saying, आज the story behind the making of Kurbani, the story behind this, the story behind that. He's done an episode which tells you about the similarities, and this you can just Google. Mera Gaon Mera Desh and Sholay. Right down to the villain in Mera Gaon Mera Desh is Jabbar Singh, and here is Gabbar Singh. वहाँ पे भी वो जो बुलाता है धर्मेंद्र को, वहाँ 2 की जगह 1 है. He's a ex-cop. Here he's he's an ex-army man. Here he's an ex-cop. So the similarities in the 2 films, the sequences, this, that, and it's not intentional, unintentional, I don't know, but it's just there. So like that, it's very... So anyway, coming back to why I brought up this topic, when you're watching the top 40 of any year, there is only one thing common in all those films which are successful.
What is that?
Songs.
Songs, okay.
I don't think it is possible for a Hindi movie to be successful, truly successful, without song. The only thing you remember from movies are songs.
Without good songs, yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. A good song. When you say song, great music. Yeah. Who are the greats? Guru Dutt, Raj Kapoor, you name it. Okay? Raj Khosla, whatever. All the greats have one thing in common: sense of music.
Yeah.
Feroz Khan.
Yeah.
He's a major influence on me. I love, Khan Saab's work.
Yeah, me too, yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
But you see the common thread. Yeah. They've all got great music. The ear for music. Manoj Kumar. Subhash Ghai. It's just that. I mean, the only exception to this entire thing is Raju Irani, who's a great filmmaker, but he never has great music. So Raju will be remembered for his work, for his movies, but not for his songs.
He's got very cute songs.
Yeah. But whereas these guys, I mean, just in the... अरे यार, R.D. Burman का गाना एक दिन बिक जाएगा माती के बोल, ठीक है? So a very interesting anecdote I read just now, that song originally R.D. Burman recorded with Kishore Kumar and then played it to Raj Kapoor. And Raj Saab heard it and he said, I agree that Kishore is a genius and everything, but मेरी जो रूह है वो मुकेश है. तो प्लीज अगर मुझे गाना है तो ये गाना आप मुकेश से डब कराओ, because my Mukesh and me are synonymous.
Yeah.
and they're fine, and they recorded it, and of course, it's a classic evergreen song and all of that. But this guy has posted 2 minutes of the original song.
Oh, has he?
Yes, with Kishore Kumar.
I'll take this down.
Okay.
I'll listen to this.
And I heard it. And I started hearing it. एक दिन बिक जाएगा माती के मोर. मैंने वहाँ बंद कर दिया. I said, no, I can't hear it.
इसको मिल कहाँ से रहा है ये सब यार? Very nice.
There's this guy on Twitter, he posts. But the fact that, I mean, these little stories are what, you know, a lot of fun. And then I said, I'm the biggest Kishore Kumar fan, boss.
अच्छा.
Okay, मेरे से बड़ा fan नहीं हो सकता किशोर कुमार का. But when I heard that song, I said, नहीं, Mukesh was the man. Or maybe it's the conditioning. So many years we've been
tuned to that.
tuned to that. But no, but even the way there's a dard, you know, in certain singers. So that is like, say, a Bhupinder, Mukesh. There's a certain.
See, listen, you're telling me you have these guys. I have Raj Kapoor in my office, so I know exactly what you're saying. You know, I feel I can talk to you the entire day. I swear, I feel I can like sit here for like 1 or 2 days and keep speaking to you. But then you will end up throwing. You'll end up throwing me out.
Oh, no. We should sit.
No.
We should sit in.
Yeah, we should once.
We should have a session minus cameras.
Please.
Yeah,
I would
that
love
will be
to pick on your head. Honestly, yaar.
No. Then I can tell you things. Huh? Here, there's so much that has to be censored. So much that has, you know, you can't.
Wow, yaar. I really want to.
A lot of my friends who meet me and people who get to know me, so the one thing everybody has told me, okay, boss, you have to write your biography.
You should. I was going to say
Because, you know, that journey has been there's been so much.
You've seen generations.
Yeah, and so I said, I said, I've got the perfect title. तो लिखूंगा नहीं लिखूंगा पता नहीं है लिखवाऊंगा. But I said, title है मेरे पास मेरी किताब का.
पक्का करना पर दत्त साहब नहीं प्ले कर
I said,
ये ध्यान रख लेना.
No, I said that the title of my biography will be बचपन से लेकर आज तक. Corniest dialogue you have heard in every Hindi movie. बचपन से लेकर आज तक. But that is what your biography is, no?
Yeah.
You know, your story from your childhood to the day you write it. So that's going to be.
Wow, यार. Phenomenal. मतलब मेरे को बहुत मजा आया. I swear.
Right, but good fun.
It's good fun.
Conversations have to be like that only. They have to be real.
Right.
That's what people love. People watch.
No script.
They enjoy it. No, nothing.
One last thing, can I ask you?
Yeah, of course.
Before you do.
I've got time till my kids come. I have to take them out for lunch.
One last thing.
Haan.
You're making movies for what? OTT or theatre? Or you're okay with both?
I'm okay with both. So, for example, my next 2 films which are releasing now,
Yeah.
there's Visfort and there's Miranda Brothers. These were written, executed for OTT. We knew that these pictures will not come into theaters, you know.
So you're okay with that?
I'm absolutely fine
with that.
I just want to tell my stories. I want to make my movies, yeah. You know, it's not that nahi abhi bade parde pe hi hai, chote parde pe. As long as I get to make that, like I'm working on my first show, and I can't tell you how charged I am, how excited I am, and slowly, steadily, it's taking a certain shape. And I was very clear with my OTT partners. I said, listen, guys, I have a constant complaint with content created in India, which is they look like shows. When you tell me Game of Thrones, every scene is like a film.
बराबर है.
वो Lord of the Rings से कम नहीं है किसी की जगह.
Exactly. Precisely.
Okay.
बिल्कुल सही.
But यहाँ पे the biggest of shows that have come out, the biggest of makers, they don't have a cinematic. I don't feel I'm watching a movie. So my show, I was very clear with them that, boss, well, it's 8 episodes. I said it's a 8 episode. Every episode is like a film.
1 hour each?
No, 42 minutes. But I said, but each episode will be like a film. The casting I'm doing. And I've taken personal favors and I'm assembling probably there's no comparison for a show to have so many big names.
Nice.
And the kind of show it is. And again, it is, I would say again, it's about gangsters, but this time they're in uniform.
Nice. I'm excited already.
No, it's gangsters in uniform.
Okay.
It's that way. And it's based on a true incident that rocked the city, the whole country. And it's incredible. And there's 2 journalists, Sanjay Singh and Rakesh Trivedi, have written a book about it. And we bought it's when I read that book, I was like, my God, I said, this is a story that, you know, because it's been 10 years that OTTs have been here. I have not done anything. But I was never inspired. I was never confident. I was never, पैसा नहीं है उसमें. मेहनत बहुत है. तो I said, 8 घंटे का content बनाओ और जो मिलेगा उसका डबल 1-1.5 घंटे की पिक्चर बना के मिलता है. तो क्यों करना है यार? and plus your first passion is filmmaking. But when this story came, I was always clear. I said, I will only do it when that story is going to keep me awake at night. Sapne mein bhi aani chahiye.
Because a lot of people anyways. They came,
Yeah. So, and I'm totally hands-on. So even the whole presentation I've made, which is the graphic presentation, I've done it alone, sitting at home. My bounce board, my wife and kids. I'll keep showing them. See, how's this looking? How's this looking? You know? You know, as I forget the content. It's looking nice, na?
Yeah.
You know, that's it. It's, yeah. So, yeah, it's been... Let's see now how that goes. That's a new phase
I'm waiting.
of a cinematic journey.
I'm excited already. I swear I'm very excited already and I'm waiting. मजा आ गया गुप्ता साहब. Thank you so much. I mean, honestly, thank you for making time.
No, it's great fun, yeah.
The utmost
It's super fun.
And I honestly feel I can harass you a lot of.
So ask your dad when he came.
Yeah.
That's what I was working on. So I couldn't even talk to him.
Yeah.
Because I was so into that flow, na? I didn't want to break it.
Yeah.
So he was sitting, he was talking to my wife. I said, chalo, good. She came, let them be entertained. I was into that, yeah. And I just finished it. Yeah. So when I came, I just gave the pen drive to my manager. I said, you go personally to the printer. And I explained what I want, the way it has to be done. Yeah. So it's a 40-page presentation, but it's going to be leather bound. And yeah. Full leather bound with a gold thing embossed on top. You know, and then you open and then you go one page, the next page, the next page. Wow. So yeah, but see that if I'm telling you a story, if I'm making a presentation, if my passion is not coming across to you, then I'm failing here. Yeah. And that's precisely what I meant about the movies with filmmakers. So there are certain films I watch, there are certain films which are, especially when they're remakes of South Indian films or any film for that matter. और मैंने original अगर देखी है और वो देखता हूँ, and if it has not outdone, I get very upset यार. ऐसे तुम क्या झक मार रहे थे?
Exactly.
आज ये एक स्कल्पचर है, आप एक आर्टिस्ट को बुला के बोलते हो भैया ये बनाना है, इससे थोड़ा अच्छा कर देना. बोलेगा ठीक है, and he's capable of doing it. It's not that, but he is going to mess it up.
Yeah, what's the point?
What's the point? So yeah, and I also I'm so for example, I really enjoyed a film called Maharaja recently, which came out on it's on Netflix.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, it's nice. It's very nice. So very interesting, nicely told. Director's done a great job. Super performances, everything. And I recently heard that somebody has bought the remake rights. And I said, why the hell would you want to make a film which the world has seen in any case? Because of its originality and freshness. And today there is, you know, ये नहीं है कि तमिल, तेलुगु, हिंदी, गुजराती सबटाइटल है, पिक्चर इनग्रॉसिंग है, बैठ के OTT पे आप कंज्यूम हो जाएगी और वो हो गई है. It's one of the greatest successes.
I missed this one.
It's lovely. It's very nice. Vijay Sethupathi. Yeah, and I don't know if you've seen a film, again it's on Netflix only, called Deluxe, Super Deluxe.
No.
Boss, I'll tell you something. I would rate Super Deluxe in my top 3 films of the last 10 years.
क्या बात कर रहे हो?
It is that brilliant. It's a Tamil film. You just have to see it to believe it.
We actually get barred, yeah. We don't get the whole Netflix list.
No, but Super Deluxe तो definitely वहाँ पे बार हुई होगी because it's the content of that film is such that. But I'm telling you, the daring for the maker to make it, the actors who are in it, the topmost names are there, who are doing a completely offbeat black comedy. You know, but it is wow. You watch it, there's nothing else you will say.
I will go to.
Yeah, so that is something we need to start doing over here.
It'll happen.
That kind of content.
Yeah, it's started. Let's see.
अभी मजबूरी
चल गई है.
हाँ, that is that.
बाकी आपके हाथ में. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, buddy.
It has been a
It was lovely.
pleasure.
Thank you so much.
एक और शो है YouTube पे जरूर देखना, टाइम आउट विद अंकित नाम है. वो भी अच्छा है.